Hello.
Then, now,
Countdown to the queens.
Episode number 500.
forever,
Looks like hell froze over.
Without any more further ado,
together.
let's jump straight into the show.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the WWE Cruiserweight Championship.
And we kick off WrestleMania 41 here in Vegas with some championship action. The Cruiserweight Championship is on the line. Johnny Gargano, that man right there. Johnny Wrestling. He's had a number of opportunities to become the Cruiserweight Champion over the past couple of years. Most recently coming up short against current champion Cedric Alexander, but he has found himself a new lease of life in recent weeks, recently winning that high wires match to earn this opportunity here tonight. And I can't think of a better person on this entire roster to get us in the WrestleMania mood here on the kickoff show than Johnny Wrestling. Gargano, of course, he's had a couple of singles championships during his time here in WWE, a multi-time NXT champion, a two-time Intercontinental champion. But tonight he looks to bring his talents to an entirely new division, a division that he's been a part of for a number of weeks now, that being the Cruiserweight division. But to get himself at the top of this division, there is a very, very dominant, powerful champion who's reigned supreme for a number of months. He doesn't look to let go of his grasp of that championship anytime soon. To many people, Cedric Alexander, of course, is the face of this era of Cruiserweight wrestling. Of course, with the Cruiserweight Classic bringing this version of the championship into play back in 2016, Cedric was a part of that initial tournament to crown the champion. He was a part of the 205 Live roster, so he was part of the heart and soul of that show, alongside Mustafa Ali. And here he is, almost a decade later, still on top of the division, walking into WrestleMania as the Cruiserweight Champion. He's taken down a number of top enemies in his path, including defeating Axiom to win that championship back at No Mercy. He's also beaten fellow former heart and soul of 205 Live Mustafa Ali. Johnny Gargano himself has also been defeated by Cedric. A number of the best talents under 205 pounds in the world have fallen to prime Alexander. He calls himself the Cruiserweight Classic. And tonight, will the Cruiserweight Classic reign tall, or will Johnny Gargano finally scratch that itch, get that demon off his back, and usher in a new era of Cruiserweight wrestling here in Vegas?
Introducing the challenger from Cleveland, Ohio, weighing in at 199 pounds, Johnny Gargano. And his opponent from Charlotte, North Carolina, weighing in at 200 pounds, the WWE Cruiserweight Champion, Cedric Alexander.
The first of many matches across both nights of WrestleMania 41 here tonight in Allegiant Stadium. And what a way to kick it off. They'll have some high-flying Cruiserweight action start as we mean to go on. This match could set the tone for the entire two nights here tonight. And there he is, Jessica Carr showing off the championship to both competitors. Let's get this in-ring competition underway. An 89 rating for our first pre-show match here. You know, kicking off the pre-show of an 89 is hopefully a good omen for the rest of the night. It's our Cruiserweight Championship match. Johnny Gargano against Cedric Alexander. Gargano recently had a shot on Velocity against Cedric, but he came up short on that night. But he's looking to get another opportunity to get his championship back here tonight. It's been a long road to get here. He won a high wires match 2 weeks ago on Velocity. It was him, it was Mustafa Ali, it was Hook, it was RKJ, and it was David Martin, I believe. But Gargano won out, and he comes here, Johnny WrestleMania, looking to become a singles champion. His first singles title, this will be in 4 years since he walked into WrestleMania as the Intercontinental champion back in 2021. And Johnny is giving it his all. You know, he's putting his heart and soul into it. And, you know, he hits that one final beat DDT on Cedric, but Cedric kicks out. You know, this isn't Cedric's first rodeo in a Cruiserweight Championship pre-show match at WrestleMania, after all. Cedric hits the lumbar check on Johnny. Johnny, like, gets to the ropes and, like, rolls out of the ring to safety, and Cedric's looking a little bit frustrated. And, like, as Johnny gets back into the ring, he goes to get back into the ring, the referee's counting him out. Cedric is, like, taking a rest. And as he does this, a person, you know, we can't see their face, but a person in a hood jumps the barricade and, like, clocks Cedric Alexander with the championship behind the referee's back. And Cedric, you know, collapses to the ground. And then when Johnny Gargano gets back into the ring, this person is, like, hiding from Johnny. And Johnny just sees Cedric down. He doesn't know what happened. He's going to take advantage of it. He nails another one final beat DDT. 1, 2, 3. Johnny Gargano is the new Cruiserweight World Champion. A title change to kick off WrestleMania 41. But he didn't do it by himself, because we then get a shot of the person. It was Candice LeRae. Candice jumped over the barricade. She helped Johnny Gargano become the Cruiserweight Championship. Johnny doesn't see her. Oh no, maybe he sees her, like, leaving. He's like, what the hell is she doing out here? But he had no idea about her involvement. She went into business for herself, nailed Cedric, you know, got boos because, you know, this is the most evil woman on the roster. But she has just helped Johnny Gargano become the Cruiserweight Champion here tonight. 88 for Gargano, 81 for Cedric. Cedric's run was really good. I liked it. But his ratings have sort of stayed steady. There are a bunch of people, like the Cruiserweight Championship. I've got a championship. Obviously, the Cruiserweight title will now be featured more on SmackDown because Gargano's got it and he's in the Candice verse. So maybe actually the Cruiserweight Champion will also get screen time on SmackDown now. I also do have a couple of other storylines I want to do on Velocity after WrestleMania. I've got more people I want to feature on that show. So yeah, maybe a new fresh coat of paint coming for Velocity after Mania, but it starts with Johnny Gargano as the Cruiserweight World Champion. Then after he wins, we go back to our panel. I haven't got enough time this year to do panel stuff, but I imagine it's the same people we normally use. I think it's Mickie James, Jim Ross, Pat McAfee, people like that. But it's all happening, like, because I only get 1 hour of pre-show time on the game, whereas there's fucking 3 in real life. Jesus Christ. With no wrestling on them, by the way. But, you know, as we are about to send it down to the ring for our second match of the pre-show, Jackie Redmond, or whoever's hosting it, is like, she gets a word in her ear that something's happening backstage, and the cameras rush backstage. And what we find is Naomi, you know, screaming out for help. Ava rushes in. She goes, what's happening? What's happening? And Shantae is on the ground. She's holding her leg in pain. She's been attacked, okay? It was that bitch, you know, it was that Nene bitch from Next Gen. I saw her run off, and she just come on and attacked Shantae. Shantae's got a title match tomorrow. Now she's looking like she's in pain. And Ava just tries to, like, help Shantae up. Shantae's, like, knee gives out. She goes, okay, we'll get her to the doctor's office. And Ava goes, well, what you gonna do? You know, she's got a title match tomorrow. And Ava goes, we'll make a decision once we get her evaluated, okay? Just leave it with us. And Naomi, you know, she's very angry. This was Shantae's big moment, and she could have it ripped away from her now. Who knows? But we then do cut to the ring. We've got, like, I think I said 30 previously. It is a 40-man Battle Royal. We've got a bunch of people in the ring, and we do get a couple of entrances for the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal.
Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe
say his name, WrestleMania, and he appears. The Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, of course, a staple of WrestleMania for what is now 11 years. But this year, the Battle Royal is a whole lot more important because on top of that Andre the Giant Memorial Trophy, the winner of this year's Battle Royal will receive a future opportunity at their respective World Championship, whether it be the WWE, World Heavyweight, or ECW Championship, whoever the champions may be. Have to look over their shoulder to see the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal winner raiding for their opportunity. Could it be Joe Hendry, the prestigious one? He of course had a giant of his own last year at WrestleMania, but this year he goes it alone. There's another giant on the line, and he may be the one taking home Andre the Giant here tonight. But of course, 30 competitors in this match. It's going to take a hell of a lot for Joe Hendry to come out on top, including this man who considers himself the mastermind of this year's version of the match. Austin Theory, the man who went to ECW standing General Manager Ravel and demanded, he said he had an idea for this match to make the winner compete for the World Championship of their respective brands. So in many ways it is Austin Theory who you've got to thank for that opportunity. A former World Champion in his own right, Carmelo Hayes, this year, WrestleMania almost came and went without an appearance from Melo. But he's looking to shoot and not miss here tonight, get himself back in the World Championship mix with a victory in this year's Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Oh, and he's not gonna like that.
From Columbia, South Carolina, weighing in at 205 pounds,
Trick Williams, of course, faced and beat Carmelo Hayes at WrestleMania last year, cutting off his former tag team partner. But Trick himself has had a bit of a rough patch of form recently. Let's see if he can get his fortunes turned around here tonight.
from New Orleans, Louisiana, weighing in at 205 pounds, Buster Gates.
A man of his own issues with current World Heavyweight Champion Bobby Lashley. Let's see if Buster Gates can earn himself a future shot at Lashley.
Las Vegas, Nevada, weighing in at 188 pounds, Rick O'Shea.
Nobody's favorite wrestler, Ricochet, representing the Hurt Business, of course, the stablemate of the current World Heavyweight Champion Bobby Lashley. He'd love to have that opportunity in his back pocket, just on the off chance that Lashley can't get the job done against Sami Zayn tomorrow night, and give the Hurt Business another opportunity to walk out with World Championship gold. A very different Ricochet than we're used to, and speaking of very different people,
Manitoba, Canada, weighing in at 227 pounds, Chris Jericho.
for the first time in many years, Chris Jericho makes his way down the ramp for WrestleMania, but this time it's as this version of Jericho. Now, Jericho appeared to be, of course, struggling in form in recent months, including the recent WWE European tour. He had a couple of run-ins with a couple of sports stars. Of course, in Barcelona it was Lamine Yamal, who jumped the barricade and got into it with Chris Jericho. Then in Bologna it was Gianluigi Buffon. But Jericho, of course, no sports stars here tonight. It's just him and a bunch of professional wrestlers. He says he's better than all sports stars. He's better than the Rizzler. He's also had a run-in the past. And Jericho, former multi-time world champion, can win here tonight to really get his WWE return kick-started, because he's had a bit of a rough patch since he came back and took over Chase U and lost to Andre Chase, giving Chase U back up. And this could be an easy path for Jericho to regain his former glory here in WWE. Oh my goodness gracious me. You know exactly who that is. What's he doing here?
New Jersey, weighing in at 360 pounds, Shaquille O'Neal.
Well, I must stand corrected because I previously just said that Jericho wouldn't have to worry about any sports stars in this match, but Shaquille O'Neal he's here and he's looking to end his second Longer Than Memorial Battle Royal. And, you know, when you're as big as Shaq is, both physically and in terms of star power around the world, who could possibly eliminate Shaq from the Longer Than Memorial Battle Royal? And this is definitely a game changer. Jericho thought he was safe from anybody stepping on his toes, any more of these sports stars stepping in, but Shaquille O'Neal, he's of course been in one before back at WrestleMania 32. 9 years later, he's back. And they got to see if any of these wrestlers have what it takes to lift this big boy out of the ring. Or this could be a future world champion here in WWE. But that's our entire field. Let's see who has what it takes to channel the spirit of the eighth wonder of the world and become immortal here at WrestleMania 41. Okay, so let me check. I believe it has remembered my elimination order. Yes, it has, okay. Because I had it all written out, and I probably still will check the Excel document because I have who eliminates who on it as well. But I was concerned that it might not remember my elimination order. But yes, the full lineup for the Under the Dome Memorial Battle Royal here at WrestleMania 41 is Andrade Cien Almas, Andre Chase, Angel Garza, Apollo Crews, Austin Theory, Baron Corbin, Buster Gates, Carmelo Hayes, Chris Jericho, Damon Kemp, Dante Rios, Dijak, Dudley Davis, Duke Hudson, Elton Prince, Giovanni Vinci, Grayson Waller, Hook, Joe Gacy, Joe Hendry, Jorge Santana, Karrion Kross, Keith Lee, Kit Wilson, Moose, Mustafa Ali, Nebo Barnes, Otis, Pete Dunne, Pistolero, Rey Mysterio, Ricochet, Ronnie Hughes, Rufus Hamilton, Shane Reynolds, Shaquille O'Neal, Sheamus, Trick Williams, Wes Lee, and ZSJ. And yes, obviously, the presence of Shaq has surprised everybody in this match. This actually isn't Shaq's first rodeo in Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, but I needed a sports star to put in here, and he was DLC on 2K, so fuck it, I made it him. And, you know, we start the match, and Jericho, he gets in Shaquille O'Neal's face, and he shoves Shaq. Shaq shoves Jericho down, and Jericho is the first elimination. Shaquille O'Neal eliminates Chris Jericho from the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. And Shaq, you know, he's posing. People try and grab Shaq. Shaq just sort of shoves them off because he's big. And then we get our next elimination. Austin Theory eliminates Shane Reynolds from the match. And then we get a little team up of the Messiah and his apostle, Apollo Crews. They work together to eliminate Joe Gacy. Before Sheamus spots the Messiah and his apostle doing things, he's got his eye patch on, and he grabs a hold of Apollo and he tosses Apollo out. And him and Moose get into a fight. And then they sort of just fight away. The next elimination, Karrion Kross is eliminated by Dijak. And then Pretty Deadly team up to eliminate Angel Garza. And then we see Shaquille O'Neal, he's back doing his thing. The Hurt Business, all three of the members in this match, you know, try and fight Shaq. Shaq shoves them away and he ends up eliminating Damon Kemp from the match. But then as Shaq is celebrating the elimination of Damon Kemp, Ricochet kicks him in the balls, and Big Ronnie Hughes clothesline Shaquille O'Neal out of the match to a chorus of boos. And obviously Ricochet, he soaks in the boos, he takes credit for the elimination even though he really didn't do anything for it. But yes, Shaq is gone at the hands of the Hurt Business. The next man out is Grayson Waller, he's out at the hands of Hook. And then finally, Sheamus gets his hands on the Messiah. He bro kicks the Messiah, and Moose is eliminated from the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Next up is Duke Hudson. He's eliminated by Trick Williams. And then we get a bit of a Revolution Hurt Business brawl before Rufus Hamilton is eliminated by Ronnie Hughes. Then see Pretty Deadly. as a duo, they try and eliminate Baron Corbin from the match. But Dijak sort of spots this. He grabs a hold of Elton Prince. He nails Feast Your Eyes on Elton Prince. He eliminates Elton Prince before Baron Corbin gets to his feet, and he eliminates Kid Wilson. And then both members of Pretty Deadly are out. And Dijak and Corbin sort of share a look and like nod of approval at each other, like, huh, yeah, that was kind of cool. Otis is the next man out. Ronnie Hughes, he gets another elimination on his record. He eliminates the big man Otis. And then we see the other two members of Chase U that are left in the match, that being Keith Lee and Andre Chase. You know, they're doing their thing, you know, hiding away in the corner before Carmelo Hayes spots them. And he sort of like pats behind him, like to whoever's behind him to sort of like get their attention to try, because he wants to work with them to eliminate Chase U. But it's Trick behind him. And he sort of like pauses as he turns around and sees Trick. Then he sort of just shrugs his shoulders, and him and Trick do work together to eliminate Chase U. Trick eliminates Keith Lee, and Carmelo Hayes eliminates Andre Chase. So, nice little bit of working together by Trick and Melo there. Maybe he's taken on board or whatever it was Trick wanted to talk about yesterday. Next to go is Hook. Mustafa Ali eliminates Hook before Nebo Barnes of the Revolution manages to eliminate Baron Corbin. And then Dijak, his new ally, is the next to go. The two luchadors, Rey Mysterio and Pistolero, work together to eliminate Dijak. Giovanni Vinci's next out. Buster Gates eliminates Vinci. And then Jorge Santana eliminates Mustafa Ali. And then as he eliminates Ali, Wes Lee sneaks up behind him and tries to eliminate Santana too. But Jorge turns it around and he also eliminates Wes Lee from the match. So back-to-back eliminations for Jorge. We then get more Revolution Hurt Business stuff, and Ronnie Hughes picks up another elimination, dumping out Nebo from the match. Then Pete Dunne and Dante Rios, you know, they've had their bit of history with each other, and that ends with Dante Rios actually eliminating Pete Dunne, to a bit of a surprise, because Pete, you know, former world champion, former US champion, Dante sort of still new around here, but Dante does get the elimination on Pete. Next up, Austin Theory low blows Joe Hendry before he eliminates Joe Hendry from the match. And like his attention is focused on mocking Joe Hendry after he gets eliminated. And he doesn't see ZSJ sneak up behind him and dump him out. Hendry sort of laughs at Theory on his ass. You know, this was Theory's brainchild here tonight, and he's been eliminated. And ZSJ's like, yeah, get out, you dickhead. Dante Rios is the next out. He's eliminated by Trick Williams. Before finally, we get more Hurt Business and Revolution shenanigans. And finally, Big Ronnie Hughes, who's had quite an impressive match so far. Buster Gates hoists him up, he nails the Rochambeau, and he eliminates Big Ronnie Hughes. We then see Rey and Pistolero working together. Again, they try and eliminate, Trick. And then, you know, as they go to, Rey goes to swing Pistolero at Trick Williams, but Carmelo Hayes pulls Trick out of the way, and instead Pistolero just tumbles to the outside. So Rey accidentally eliminating his own tag team partner. Dudley Davis is out next. Sheamus, you know, meets him with a big stiff knee after that Dudley device before eliminating the Speed champion. Next gone is ZSJ. Andrade manages to eliminate him. And then Andrade sort of works with Rey Mysterio because Andrade's partner is out, Rey's partner is out, so they're like, we may as well work together trying to eliminate Trick and Melo. But Trick and Carmelo Hayes do manage to eliminate Rey and Andrade. Melo eliminates Andrade, then Trick eliminates Rey. And then we have our final 6, I believe it is. Buster Gates, Carmelo Hayes, Jorge Santana, Ricochet, Sheamus, and Trick Williams. And then we get to a big fight. The two biggest men in the ring are Trick and Sheamus. They sort of go at it, and it ends with Sheamus finally eliminating Trick Williams. And then, as Sheamus eliminates Trick, Melo sneaks up behind Sheamus. He dumps Sheamus out. And we're down to our final 4. Next to go is Jorge Santana. Ricochet, again, doing his crafty, dastardly ways, manages to hoist Santana up and eliminate him. So our final 3 are Buster Gates, Carmelo Hayes, and Ricochet. All SmackDown guys, funnily enough. And then, finally, after avoiding people all match, Buster catches Ricochet, hits him with that Rochambeau, and he eliminates Ricochet. And our final 2 are Carmelo Hayes and Buster Gates. And in the end, the winner of the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal is Buster Gates. He hoists up Carmelo Hayes, Rochambeau once again. Melo is eliminated, and Buster wins the armbar in a 79 rated match. That's actually pretty good. But yeah, obviously it did remember my elimination order. I actually quite like that. But yes, Buster has earned himself a shot at a world championship, be it Bobby Lashley or Sami Zayn, two people he's very close with recently. He's very involved in that story, but he now has a shot at the world title, so who knows? Whoever the world champion, I believe it's not a Money in the Bank situation, he is next up. So whoever walks out of WrestleMania as the champion will defend against Buster Gates. But then after that, we cut backstage, we catch up with Kathy Cool, and she's approached by an angry Naomi. She goes, "Hey bitch, what you doing? What you getting your girl to attack my girl for?" Kathy goes, "What are you talking about?" She goes, "I saw your girl Nene, walking off after attacking everybody backstage, laying out Shantae, trying to put a match in jeopardy because you're scared that she's going to take that championship from you." And Kathy goes, "I haven't seen any member of Next Gen all day. Okay? I don't even know if they're here tonight, so..." It wasn't I didn't get anybody to attack Shantae. I was actually looking forward to wrestling her one-on-one tonight. Then Ava goes, "Bad news. It turns out that Shantae, she's not going to be able to compete tomorrow night." And he goes, "Wow, great, okay, well, so this bitch is going to get away scot-free not having to defend her championship." And Ava goes, "Well, actually, we were thinking about, still having Kathy defend the championship because the champion can still wrestle, so..." "Naomi, how would you like to fill in for Shantae tomorrow night against Kathy Cool?" And Naomi goes, "I mean, it's sort of Shantae's match, but sure, I'll do it. I'd love to get my hands on that championship, and even more get my hands on this bitch for what she did tonight, taking away my best friend's WrestleMania opportunity." So yeah, last minute change. It will be Naomi challenging Kathy Cool for the Liberty Championship, not $1 million Championship, tomorrow night, instead of Shantae Washington. The lights have gone down. The sun is still up. The lights have gone down. The arena, the fireflies are out, which can only mean one thing. They're here. The Wyatt 7 loomed into Las Vegas. For Susie sending the group out. Uncle Howdy, Eric Rowan, Kip Sabian and Preston Vance looking a lot like Dexter Lumis and Joe Gacy tonight. Hannah Coleman looking a lot like Nikki Cross, but there's only so much you can do. It's almost like this is a video game and you can't change their entrance. Wyatt 7, of course, not 6, and now it says 6 on the nameplate. But there's been a game of mind games in recent weeks between the current ECW Tag Team Champions, the House of Black, and this mysterious crew known as the Wyatt 7, who have been lurking in the shadows on ECW for a long time since they arrived officially back in June last year. And now they've finally set their sights on championship gold. And it's going to be Uncle Howdy and Eric Rowan leading these freaks of the night into battle. You've got to be freaky if even the House of Black are starting to look at you funny. But that is certainly what the Wyatt 7 are. Regardless of what they may look like here, that is Kip Sabian, that is Preston Vance, and that is Hannah Coleman. But here come the champions. Aleister Black in the middle, there's Tommaso Ciampa, and there's Brody King. They are the House of Black. Of course, last year the House of Black, they competed as a trio on the grandest stage of them all. It was all three of these against AJ Styles, Finn Balor, and Jay White, and it was Jay White's WWE debut. A year later, the House of Black have once again acquired championship gold, and they've stepped into both a physical and mental battle here tonight, with one group that may just have their number, both in terms of in the ring and in the mind, that being the Wyatt 7. And what a way to wrap up this kickoff show, with some big championship actions and big implications for the future of ECW as a brand, as one of these teams will leave victorious and leave with those ECW Tag Team Championships. Let's take you down to Micro.
The following contest is a tag team match set for one fall, and is for the ECW World Tag Team Championship. Introducing the challengers at a combined weight of 549 pounds, Uncle Howdy and Eric Rowan, the Wyatt Six. And their opponents, at a combined weight of 500 pounds, Alice, Stan, Black, and Brown E. King.
The House of Black. They claim the house always wins. Will that be the case here tonight? ECW chants from the arena here in Vegas. Championships on the line. Another 79. Same ring as the Battle Royal. I don't really have too much to say about this one. It's just four spooky dudes doing spooky dude things. And in the end, we do have new ECW Tag Team Champions, the Wyatt 7. Uncle Howdy pins Brody King with the Sister Abigail to win the championships for the Wyatt 7. I was sort of back and forth on who I wanted to win this, but I went with the Wyatts in the end. Sure. Because, you know. One thing you'll learn in the coming months is that I'm going to be flipping tag titles for a fair bit, because I like what they do in real life when they do that, and I think it's a good way to get a healthy division. Obviously, not every single belt can be flipped like that all the time, but I think for tag titles, for some reason, I just think it's fun. So yeah. Wyatt 7, the new ECW Tag Team Champion. 79 for Brody King, 82 for Aleister Black, 60 for Eric Rowan, 70 for Uncle Howdy. So yes, the pre-show ends with the Wyatt 7 scoring the victory. And I'll see you on the other side for WrestleMania 41, Night 1, the main show.